Guys, my name is Mbabazi and welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm trying to be consistent as I can, and it's beating my ass, but I really want to do this for myself. So I actually did not prepare myself for this video. Hold on, give me a minute. I did not prepare myself for this video. I was actually just seated on my computer right now, just working, and then it hit me, and I was like, you guys, I have to give you guys a story time because I think I hinted about some stuff, and I did tell my friends, like my close friends, about it. So I may as well just just tell everybody because it could help someone, or just prevent a whole big situation. So first things first, you do realize that everybody knows that when it comes to international students in the USA, you're not allowed to work vis-a-vis international students in other countries, because I've seen international students, like my friends in other countries, they're actually working and getting money, and then with USA it's completely different, set of rules and stuff like that. So it's like I knew that from the start. So I knew that. So I still wanted to work because I was working online. I create content for brands. I have my own skincare line. I do have my own thing going. So I was like, if I could just get a small remote job and just keep doing. Because I don't really need that much money. I'm not paying for much. I'm not doing a lot, but I need to just have some money on me. Just so I have some money. So I decided to go online and apply for some jobs online. Now that's where that's where it all starts, because when we all go online, you want a remote job, or even if you don't want a remote job but you want a job, and that's like the quickest place to go. So the story is, I go and I think I had an account on Indeed. I had an account on Indeed, and then I had another account on Upwork, all those platforms that people really praise, and people are like, this shit works. So I'm like, cool. So I go to I make my profile, I upload my pictures, I upload my resume. I actually made better resumes in Canva and all. So I applied to jobs and it was good. Actually, jobs would get back to me. I think it's really strategic, because when you were in the US, when I was using this websites, because I tried it back then when I was home, I would not get companies get back to me, but when I moved, I felt like companies did get back to me. So I think location is key, but then that's not the story. So companies get back to me, but of course I was just doing it out of fun, because okay, not fun, but I was just doing it to see if I could get in. But truth is, I could not get the job, because when I did the interviews, I passed the interviews, and I do actually have offer letters. I think I'll try to get you guys a few screenshots of the offer letters. I have a bunch of offer letters, but then I could not take up the job because I'm not allowed to work. I don't have employment authorization as a non-citizen. So that's not the story. The story is, I'm let me get remote work. Let me get something remote, whereby I'm telling someone I'm Ugandan. So I'm I'm in Uganda. I'm working remotely, but truth is I'm here, and nothing big. So I applied to jobs remotely. I applied to this one specific job. It was data entrant. No, I actually didn't apply to it. That's the gist of the story. I did apply to it. So because I applied to many jobs, okay, not so many, but I got lost. So when they would come back to me, I would be the first thing I would tell them, I'd be like, guys, I want remote work because I cannot work in the US, and they'll be like, okay, fine, or no, and most of them, of course, were saying no. So this one day, I'm going through my spam folder, red flag number one, on my email, because I usually go through it, because you guys, there's always some important messages that always get mixed up in the spam folder. So I'm in my spam folder, and then I get across this email, and they're like, hi, we want to interview you, we just look at your resume, you applied and it's amazing. So I'm like, oh my god, I almost missed this. So I go for it because it was showing it's remote worldwide, and they're hiring immediately and stuff, and they're like, oh, I'm like, cool. So I message them back, they're like, cool, are you ready for the interview? I'm like, yeah, I want to do the interview. They're like, cool, we're gonna do it online. I'm like, sure. Now problem is, another red flag number two, when they told me we're gonna do the interview online, that's okay, I've done many interviews online via Zoom. This particular interview, I was told, is going to be via Signal, the Signal app. You guys have seen the Signal app. It's something like WhatsApp. So I was like, okay, but I was still excited about it. So I was like, cool. So I download the Signal app, I text that number that I was given. And then they're like, then I'm like, cool, I'm here for the interview. Give them my interview code, and they're like, what's your name? And they're like, I'm gonna give you a couple of questions. when you answer the question, you tell me, we go to the next question. Of course, the questions seem legit because I think they're the standard questions like, why do you want to work for us? Do you want to work full time or like part time and stuff like that? So of course I've never failed an interview. Like I think that's on me. The moment I get to pass via the whole review, the moment they review my resume and know that I can pass, girl, I already have the job. I know that in mine. Because with the interview, I never fail. I never fail that shit. Like I know what to say, when and how. And so I passed the interview. Interview was like in 40 minutes. And they're like, we're gonna get back to you. I'm gonna talk to like the colleagues and the HR, the head HR, because they were the hiring manager and stuff like that. So they go talk to the HR. It was like an hour, then they come back. Still when the signal up, no video call, right? So they speak to me and they're like, hi Colin, are you still there? I'm like, yeah, I'm still there. They're like, cool. So I'm back with the results. You scored great, you're amazing, we want to work with you. Are you available to start working straight away? Now because I was excited, I was like, yeah, sure, let's start working straight away. They're like, cool. So they're like, cool, tomorrow I'm gonna get back to you with like more information on stuff. So I'm really happy with myself. I'm like, girl, I'm gonna do this. Like, right, I have a break from school is not starting in like 2 months, 3 months. Like I got this time on me. I'm gonna do great. Now around that same exact time, I got like 5 different other companies. Listen to me, 5 different other companies with the same thing, and they're like, we want to interview you, you applied, blah 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 blah. Now when I get these other companies, I'm like, hold up, there's way too many. I don't remember applying to these many jobs. So I'm like, hold on. Another thing is, this company that had just interviewed me was a big brand. It was a big pharmaceutical company, and I was gonna do like data entry. So I was like, hold on, if it was a big company, I would have still remembered that I applied to them. So I go to my Indeed, and then I look through the jobs I applied for, and I cannot see it. I'm like, hold on, I didn't apply for this job. And then I go to my Upwork, and I still can't see it in my history. And I'm like, okay, maybe I use LinkedIn this time. So I go there, and I've never applied for a job since like 2019, right? So I'm like, wow, either this is like a big miracle, or something is up. But then I'm still excited because they're like, I'm like, either if it's a scam, I'm gonna jump out of it. Like I'm not gonna purchase nothing, so they're gonna scam me. Now that's why I was wrong. So first thing the next morning, they're like, hi Colin, are you there? I'm like, yeah, I'm there. They're like, cool, we're gonna send you your employment like details. I'm like, sure, you're sending employment details. You can email them to me. They email me an offer letter. They email me what I'm supposed to sign and stuff like that. And I'm like, cool. So and put a picture and like swear to oath that I'm gonna use the company equipment properly, because one of the things that I was supposed to get with the company was they were supposed to give me a new MacBook. Listen, a MacBook, a new phone, a headset, and a printer, because it's going to be a remote job, and the office was supposed to cover what's it called, the work was supposed to cover the whole office setup at my home. So I'm like, cool, this is a win-win situation, right? So what was I saying? Sure. So the next morning, they're like, after like me signing my stuff, I'm still like skeptical. So I go to the official website. Now another thing that was actually a red flag was that the emails they were sending me were not ending. How like in let me give you an example of a website. Like, let's say a website is called mbabazicolin.com. If somebody works for that company, like usually their email coordinates with that website's domain name. Like it will end in .com. Like let's say it's coca-cola.com, it will be Colin at hrcoca-cola.com. You understand? Like that's standard procedure. So these emails were actually like a bit fishy. So I go to the official website of this company and I send an email, y'all. I sent an email. I'm like, I have a job offer starting next week, giving me this amount of money. It was actually some good money. I don't remember how much it was. And then I'm like, offering me this amount of money, and I, for some reason, don't remember applying for this job. But I passed, the interview. Everything is great. I would like to just know if it's real or not. Now, the reason as to why I was doing that is I was really excited at the time, and I really wanted to like know that my excitement is not going to waste, if that makes sense. So I was like, sure. So I send, and they delayed to get back to me. Meanwhile, back to me, these guys, the scammers, send me a check. Now, what is this check for? The check is to purchase the equipment, the MacBook, the new phone, the headset, and the printer, right? So, I'm there sitting minding my own business, right? And then they come to me and they say, and then, I'm like waiting for my check. So the check finally comes in, and I'm like, cool. So I look at the check and I'm like, is this a real check? So it's a real check, right? It's authentic. It's a cashier's check to start with. So I scan, you can deposit a check using your phone. So I deposit the check using my phone. They're like, have you gotten the check? I'm like, I got the check. They're like, did you go to the bank? I'm like, no, I did not go to the bank. I deposited using in my phone. And they were like, you were supposed to go to the bank. And that's like another red flag. So I'm like, okay, what is it such a big deal? If the check gets, cashed, I'm still gonna get the money, and I'm gonna purchase the laptop and headsets. So that was a Friday, right? Weekends, no one's working, so I have to wait for the weekend to elapse. Then again, I'll wait for like a full 2 days for the check to be cashed. So during that time, I'm lucky the official company gets back to me and they're like, that's a scam. And I give them more information. I'm like, you guys, yeah, this is it. I give them the website, I give them the contact, and I'm like, cool, I'm done with this. So I jump out of the scam, really, but then I'm still confused because I just deposited a check, right? And I'm like, how will they scam me if they're giving me money? Like, I'm confused because the check was authentic. It went through and it was cashed. Like, I didn't get the money reflected on my account, but then that was the problem. Now, these guys wanted me to purchase a laptop, a phone, and a headset, purchasing boards, but they were telling me I have to buy them from their official vendor. Like, their vendor has some important software that they put on the phone. So now the issue was, when I make a purchase, right? When I make a purchase, because they're like, the job is starting like soon, you have to get that shit quickly. When you make a purchase, the money has not even reached your account. So when you make the purchase, you're sending all the money to them, right? They're lying that they have a vendor. It's them. So you send them the money, and before this money is cashed into your account, they stop the transaction. So I'm like, cool, I did not do it. But what problem did they bring me? My account gets restricted. So because it gets restricted because the bank did not get the money, and the bank, hits up to me and they're like, what's wrong with this check? So I'm like, you guys, it's a scam. It's a scam. I'm sorry, but it's a scam. So the bank is like, cool, we're gonna restrict your account for some time. You're not gonna be able to access it to withdraw money because you may withdraw this money and it will cause us a loss. So I'm like, cool, I don't need the money, I didn't work for it, it's okay. But you guys, just be careful. And I did see a TikTok of someone who was saying something about what? Something about very many people faking. People are so heartless because like you're out here looking for a job and then someone wants to scam you while you're in such a situation. Be really, really careful. Seeing the email addresses of people that are texting you, and like make sure you have a physical, okay, not physical, but like if it's virtual, you must have it on webcam, have Zoom, have Google Meet, have something, speak to them and see them, document anything, because the moment anything turns, you are the person that is going to be called, because the bank was going to think I'm going to try to rob them of like what, $3,000. Yet it was actually just a bounce check that was fake. Okay, the check was real, but like it was a scam. So that's how I actually like good saved. You guys should really be careful. I don't know if that was really important to anybody, but like that happened, and you guys should actually be careful. So that was my story time for today. I'll be telling you guys very many more. I have actually been experiencing like quite a number of things. I'll actually be telling you guys like many more. And sadly, that's not even sadly, because I'm happy I survived the scam. And when that happened, I was telling you, like, I was getting more like messages of like people doing like offering me those same job offers, and it's like a full scam. I think when one person gets your number, he just sends it to like 10,000 other people, and everybody's just like trying to rob you of your money that you don't even have. But then I'm now keen, and I really like, just have the eye, and I'm really like, because I was lucky I didn't give them that much personal information, I guess. And then another thing is, now when I got another job and I went to school, I was like, you know what, let me not do this, let me not rush, because like I was really rushing into it. I was like, do I really need this money this bad? So like, you know, I'm just like chill about it, and like, really critical, and I just hope that helps someone. I just hope that helps someone.